Former Multichoice Ghana country manager Herbert Mensah has criticized the current management's communications approach in its price row with government. The standoff deepened after Communications Minister Sam George ordered DSTV to cut subscription fees by September 21 or face a shutdown, prompting South Africa's Deputy Foreign Minister to fly to mediate the impasse. Herbert Mensah says public clashes with the ministry are unnecessary, warning that taking an entrenched position could worsen its plight.
What really is the maximum that one can get? And I'm talking not as a government official, as a private person. But if there are ghost boxes, if there are people who are essentially smuggling, if you can use that word in this context, then Multichoice loses out and the government of Ghana loses out. And surely the only way to beat that is to actually drop the prices. I think when you then look at pricing across, it is normal. If the pricing is that exaggerated between Ghana and another country, and you take the tax quotient into consideration, then I'm not really quite sure what the argument is. I think that Multichoice, DSTV do need to find a way to show greater humility. I'm not a politician. If I was a minister, I would certainly not have that tolerance for the backwards and forwards and the kind of communication. And if I was still involved, and you're right, I was involved many years ago, Koos Becker, I consider a good friend, as was John Baden-Horst and Etienne Haynes. I'm still very close with a lot of them. My advice would have been tread carefully. You know, silence is far better than I said, you said, I said, you said. You're not government.
Right.
And at the end of the day, the subscribers who don't understand it, or people who think it's a political statement, they should understand that I'm not political. I make the communication and the point from the point of view of A, understanding comms, B, being involved in the industry. Even in my area of sport, we're seeing more and more that people are moving away into the world of streaming rather than going back into paid television. So I would recommend that they put the weapons away. And I'm not sure what a deputy minister is doing in Ghana discussing this, unless DSTV is suddenly owned by the state of South Africa.
And you have Herbert Mensah, a former country manager for DSTV. Well, Benjamin Kofi Kwashi, Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa, joins us via Zoom to also share his views on this. Already he's made made statements showing concern about how government and DSTV are handling this situation. Mr. Benjamin Kwashi, grateful for your time on our news desk. First of all, you have already, registered your displeasure at how this thing is being, handled. So far, we know, as of yesterday, that the NCA was meeting with DSTV to discuss further what should happen going forward. But from where you sit currently, what is the situation for you?
Very well. Thank you very much for having me on the program. I think that the minister and NCA, together with the Multichoice entity, have agreed that there should be a boardroom resolution to whatever the impasse is. This is what we've all asked for when this whole thing started. I believe that, there are genuine concerns from the Honorable Minister of Communication that needs to be looked into, especially to do with the pricing framework, and also to indicate that the price comparative in terms of what our people are paying and what other West African countries are paying. I think that the long and short of it is that they have to do something about the pricing, which they would definitely do. But we believe that there shouldn't be a media fight. There shouldn't be a fought them back, like Herbert Mensah indicated. It's not going to help anybody. I think that it was uncalled for, the response that Multichoice gave after the minister put out a statement. I think there's more to dialogue about in finding a lasting solution than for us to have a media banter.
What's your knowledge of what's happened at yesterday's meeting with the regulator, and also we understand the Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister of South Africa coming in to mediate? Do you have any idea what's happened since then?
No, I don't have an idea what happened, but what I know is that the committee that has been set up from both sides, which is being chaired by the Honorable Sam Nete George, who is a communications minister, are doing a great job. They are even meeting over weekends to ensure that we have a lasting solution to whatever the impasse is.
So what do you think will be the position of the minister coming from South Africa? I mean, earlier you had said that some business partners in South Africa are really concerned about how the situation is going. What are their expectations coming out of this meeting?
Well, I think in South Africa, the investor community has got, questions that they are asking us to our business friendliness as a country, and also looking at the AFTA that we agreed on to have free trade among ourselves. But what we've indicated is that when you want to actually enforce investor comfort, you should also look at working within the confines of the country, the laws and regulations of the country that you find yourself in. In as much as we don't want anybody to take advantage of investors, we also don't want any investor to take advantage of the good people of Ghana. So that is the kind of situation we find ourselves in. What I know is that they would understand that, MTN went through the same thing. We didn't hear any of the media rancor that we are hearing now. So it means that the approach from both parties with this multi-choice thing is what has landed us here. I'm happy to hear the Foreign Affairs Minister giving assurance to his counterparts in South Africa that there's no trade war, there's no taking advantage of, and that whatever it is, we'll sit down, speak about it, and whatever percentage in terms of reduction, and that is going to be cardinal. And I know that the Honourable Minister has got his terms cut out as to how much he wants them to go in terms of the reductions. I'm sure that after the discussions, whatever it is that they agree on will be in the interest of both Ghana and South Africa.
Well, looking at how things are going with DSTV at the moment, how do you, plan moving forward, especially now that there's really a duty handed over to you to ensure that business partnerships between Ghana and other foreign countries are strengthened or increased, between those countries? How do we move forward? What should be the strategy to ensure that there's a fair playing ground for everyone coming in here?
Yes, so that is the investor confidence that we are talking about. I am still the ambassador designate to South Africa. I believe that our roles have been cut out for us. We went through an extensive orientation just last week, and in it we were giving KPIs to work within each country. It's country specific. And it makes our work so easy. It makes our work so elaborate and so detailed. I know that it's a big challenge starting on this footage, but like I always say, when challenges are there, if you want to solve them and solve them well, you use diplomacy to be able to get things done and done right. So I can assure you, and I can assure the good people of Ghana, that we will solve this problem. It will be amicable, and we will continue from there.
Have you in any way been invited, at least, to this sit down with this, big platform that serves Ghana as well, to at least help with the mediation process?
No, I've not been. I'm sure that is because I'm still the ambassador designate. Okay. But whoever is part of that committee, whoever is involved in it, I can assure you that they are competent people, very, very credible people who will work to find a lasting solution.
All right. We're grateful for your time, Mr. Benjamin Kwashi. And we hope for good news from that meeting. Thank you very much.